Welcome back to Pico Rivera, California, to Psycho Turtle for our League Challenge. I'm still getting used to calling it a League Challenge.
Right? Oh my god, it's a little awkward, right? Because like for like years, for almost like a whole year from 2023 and like a little bit of 2024, we've been calling Premier Challenges an MSS.
Yeah,
It's just.
But in
It's
any
habit.
case, it is habit. In any case, we're getting underway for round number 3. Two 2-0 players here, Ashley Stelzer and Benji Irons. Ashley running the Incineroar, Porygon 2, Primarina, Garchomp, Golden Go, and Vivian.
While Benji is running Sneasler, King Gambit, Rillaboom, Volcarona, Dondozo, and Electabuzz. First thing I can see, I guess, is it's Solo Dozo. You don't see it often in this reg. We did see it in earlier regs like Reg F, right? Paired with Tinglu. Actually, just talking about with Dennis here. But yeah, it was a good combo, but I'm not like too keen on what it wants to do here per se, right? Because that was more of a trapping duo back in Reg F.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily know what Solo Dozo brings to the table in this sort of situation. Solo Water is a solid defensive typing, and it gets pretty good physical bulk.
Yeah, it has pretty good natural physical bulk. But like, I can see it just being like a bulky water type pivot. But
although I don't know if it comes into this matchup against 4 special attackers.
That's also true. Although there's no electric type damage, but you know, we'll see. It seems like so Vivian Garchomp versus Volcarona Electabuzz. So this is actually a setup Volcarona, so with Electabuzz it's very nice. And also this the Vivian Garchomp duo, it's a nice redirection. Vivian's unique in that it's a redirector that's immune to ground. So since Garchomp again such a good Pokemon in this format, you can just kind of Earthquake next to it while it Rage Powders away stuff.
Yeah.
So
this one does not have Rage Powder.
Yeah. Oh, it actually does not have Rage Powder.
It doesn't.
It's very interesting.
Hurricane, Sleep Powder, Tailwind,
so still, supported capabilities. And,
it still has a lot of solid supportive moves, and it's immune to ground, so it's really nice in this format. That's also, I really like that pattern. It's the ocean pattern. Yeah. Big fan of it.
And actually, it's Compound is not even Friend Guard, so it's gonna hit these Hurricanes. I believe it's about close to a 90% Hurricane, as well as the Sleep Powder.
More crucially, that Sleep Powder is going to be hitting way more often. It's going to look more like a Spore.
Yeah. So
get the early Garchomp Terra into the Fire type. Terra on the other side from Benji. Are we going to... it's maybe Electabuzz Ghost.
Ghost Electabuzz. So that's good in both ways. Ghost is a good defensive typing, and also can't fake it out if or ever comes in around.
It should take an Earthquake now.
Yeah,
if that's
it will
what comes
take
out.
the Earthquake. Yeah, and it won't. It will do a good amount to the Volcarona.
It shouldn't knock out either of these, I don't think.
But it does a lot to Volcarona.
Oh, wow, Electabuzz takes 2 of those. Vivian does get the Tailwind up, so Garchomp's going to keep the speed advantage here.
So even if a Quiver Dance comes out, and since Volcarona not only did Volcarona not get a defense boost, it has already low defense naturally, so another Earthquake's taking it out. I
have to mention this because it's kind of unusual. It's Terra Fairy. It's got Terra Blast and it's Terra Fairy. It's not that Terra Grass, which might have been able to take one with that Giga Drain, especially being able to bring up its HP. But even with the speed boost, Garchomp's going to outspeed in the Tailwind. So I think this is a pretty free Earthquake right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately...
Although if Rillaboom switches in, then it'll weaken it.
I think
it's still going to knock out. Yeah, it's going to be pretty close.
The defenses aren't great on Volcarona, unfortunately.
And you also have Hurricane on
the Vivian could just Hurricane. Yeah, good protect, right? Let's get the... I didn't see the targeting, so maybe the Hurricane went into the Rillaboom slot. Or did you just double up?
This is good for Benji because it won't do very much to Rillaboom, but it will also do a tiny bit back to Garchomp and Life Orb damage.
Yeah, and Hurricane.
What's the Hurricane in that slot?
That's a very interesting double. I feel like you wouldn't want to do that, but I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's a turn where relatively nothing went on. So yeah, I guess it's just like a kind of a hurricane into the Rillaboom, and just another earthquake. I think the earthquake still takes out Volcarona from this health.
Well, and I think you could probably double into the Volcarona again.
Or actually, no,
just because the fake out is here, and you probably want to Stomping Tantrum,
for the full damage.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does not reduce.
But I think you might as well still double into the Volcarona because of that fake out. Yeah. Garchomp's going to feel a little bit back in the rough skin damage, but now the Vivillon should be the fastest thing here on the field. Gonna get the Hurricane
connects, and that should be a KO. That is Hurricane,
no doubt.
Yeah, even with the special defense boost, even with the high natural special defense, it is not living that. So yeah, just like we were saying, the 90% accurate Hurricane coming in clutch here.
Feeling real good. That feels really nice to know that your Hurricanes are not going to miss.
Yeah.
We need King Gambit coming in here.
Yeah, and this
is
actually...
We see all four for Benji.
Yeah, so this actually, I would say this is like a pretty obvious turn that Benji wants to do, right? There's really no fake out or anything in. You just kind of like Stomping Tantrum the Gambit and just Hurricane the Rillaboom.
Yeah.
It seems like a...
Yeah, it's a very linear turn.
Yeah,
and King Gambit has Protect, but there's not a whole lot that King Gambit can really do here.
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe Rillaboom could get some off.
Yeah.
I could see Vivillon.
I mean, both of them. I will say both of them can Terra out of their weaknesses to those moves.
Oh, actually,
so
the Electabuzz already Terra'd.
So, that's true. Actually, I didn't even think about that.
So I guess he predicted the Protect, and he just wants the Rillaboom.
Yeah,
she just wants the Rillaboom gone. So that's also another play.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fine, especially with how slow the King Gambit is. I mean, if he gets a Sword Stance up here, that's a little concerning.
Yeah, because Electabuzz is in the back.
Bit of a yikes. Yeah, and Electabuzz is in the back. Although, at the same time, Garchomp can Earthquake.
Yeah, but Garchomp goes down to a Sucker.
Garchomp probably drops to a Sucker Punch. And Electabuzz, and obviously...
you can't sleep the... you can't click Sleep Powder at all.
Yeah, exactly. Tailwind is down, so Vivillon has something to do now.
Okay, so Porygon 2 can take.
That's the thing. There's also two Pokemon in the back for Ashley. Like, Ashley has not switched past the leads at this point, which is the big advantage right now, which is that Benji has not actually done anything and is relying on King Gambit to win this game.
But actually, I think King Gambit can, just because the Incineroar doesn't... But even
I think that you have to, if you're Ashley, if you get Electabuzz out of the way, you probably win.
Yeah, so...
and it is Safety Goggles, so you can't even sleep it in general, but... Porygon 2 is going to come out here.
Is that a safety? Wait,
King Gambit is Safety Goggles.
Oh, King Gambit.
Yeah, sorry. Electabuzz goes for the Protect. So not the,
What did you want out of the way? Oh, you sucker!
Yeah.
Wow, what a play. That's really good. Getting that.
But I think that will. Ooh, and the Tailwind does go up. So
that was a very good play. Make sure like nothing off the Sucker Punch. Now it's in like an interesting. It's interesting, right? Because you could actually take a Sucker Punch here and just Hurricane the Electabuzz slot. Probably maybe take it out.
Yeah.
And then like
you could probably double up into that Electabuzz slot since it just protected. You do have to use Ice Beam into it, unfortunately, because it already it Terra'd, and it is confused now as well. There is the Hurricane. We'll see if the Porygon 2 can finish it off.
No, it cannot. But let's see what it does.
Confusion could, though.
Yeah, Confusion could hit itself. Oh, it hits itself in Confusion. That's actually really huge because it can't take a hit for King Gambit in it.
Yeah. I think this game is over.
Yeah.
Because even if Incineroar comes in and gives it the Defiant boost and everything, it still has.
Actually, maybe not now.
I think this game's still over.
I think if Vivillon goes down.
Because the problem is...
Oh, he still has Garchomp in the back, too.
Somebody's reading the team. We'll hold. We'll see how this plays out. But I think what you want, if you're Ashley, is you want Garchomp and Incineroar to come out next to each other so that Incineroar is able to get the Fake Out on the turn that Garchomp is hitting it. Although at the same time, it shouldn't do that much damage to Incineroar, and Flare Blitz should knock it out, frankly. Yeah. Although it is at +5 attack.
Yeah, that's more of the scary.
Vivillon Sleep Powdered. Did not read the...
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
No. Sorry about that. I was very vague about what that meant, but yeah, the Sleep Powder going into the Safety Goggles King Gambit. Now the question here, what do you go for? And now you get into some of the Sucker Punch mind games, because Incineroar definitely wants to Flare Blitz here, or even Fake Out.
I still don't think Incineroar ever goes down to a Sucker Punch. It's a Incineroar. Might take a lot.
I mean, it's already down to like 40 HP.
Right.
Does get the Fake Out down, so nobody taking damage this turn. And I think this is it, because who cares about the speed? Stomping Tantrum plus Flare Blitz. Good. One of those two moves is going to hit, and one of those two moves is going to knock it out. It's going to go with the Sucker Punch into the Garchomp.
And then rough skin damage.
Just a touch of damage back, but I think the Flare Blitz was going to be enough regardless.
We'll see.
Hold your breath.
King Gambit's a pretty bulky guy, so like maybe not, honestly. And then Incineroar knocks itself out, so like, yes, he
barely takes it. And Incineroar probably does drop to recoil. I mean, the thing is now
you can only Sucker Punch one guy. So
you
just
can only Sucker Punch
attack.
one guy, and you get the two guys in again.
Yeah.
And then it might rely on Hurricane.
Vivian also has a sash.
Yeah, Vivian also has a sash, so Vivian needs multiple hits to take out.
Yeah. So
it'll require a couple of Hurricane misses, I think. Like, I think you have to try to, like, sucker the Porygon 2 and hope that this, like, 90+% Hurricane misses multiple times.
Yeah.
There is that Porygon 2,
doesn't even
and it
go
just
down. Yeah. I was thinking, like, Porygon 2 might not even go down. Like,
it's bulky. It's dang bulky, and that download gives it so many free stats, especially right there. It got the special attack boost. Didn't matter, because Vivian cleaned that one up.
Yeah.
But,
that was the out, though. You have to KO the Porygon 2, hope for 2 Hurricane misses.
Yeah.
Which is very unlikely.
Got a little dicey near the end, but Ashley definitely controlled that game from the start. What does Benji do to break that lead, the Garchomp and the Vivian, a little bit cleaner?
I mean,
because that went really badly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you don't go for the Volcarona. Like, that's one thing, right? I think you kind of have to maybe leverage Rillaboom a little bit more, right? Like, while this Vivian does have Terra Ghost, right? Like, if the Vivian Terra Ghost, that means there's not a lot of, like, defensive potential on the team.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, maybe forcing out that Terra might be, like, a good trade, right? You can, like, lead Rillaboom, reduce the Earthquake damage, and then you reduce the Earthquake damage, Garchomp can't target both, right? You can only Stomping. So I think, like, leading Rillaboom is good, especially, like, if the Garchomp and the Vivian come out.
Well, and it's also an interesting case here where I think there's reason for Ashley to try to change things up. I don't know if she will, but it did feel like the game was kind of awkward at times. Like, once you got the Volcarona out of the way, the rest of the game was just kind of awkward at dealing with everything. I
mean, Vivian...
I don't know if Perino or Golden Go really fill that hole, though. So maybe you do have to go with this 4.
Like 5 of these 6 mons resist Golden Go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah, that is a really awkward matchup.
Oh, not really. Rillaboom doesn't resist, but it's AV, so it might as well resist.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little best. It might as well resist it.
Yeah. So perhaps not. Mayhaps not. Might just have to go with the same 4. We'll see what Benji decides to go for here. Both these players at 2-0. A win will probably float you into top cut.
Oh yeah,
with
be pretty resistance close. And stuff, they probably it's high resistance.
Yeah, if you get up to 3-0, and then your resistance is gonna feel pretty nice for the rest of it. It's gonna be King Gambit Rillaboom on Benji's side, and then same lead for Ashley, the Vivian and the Garchomp, but they switch places.
Yeah, so nice observation. Alright, anyways, jokes aside. So no, this Rillaboom's actually putting in some, like, really nice work now. You can't target both now, and even if you wanted, you have to Stomping Tantrum with Gambit, which is, and obviously you just fake it out. So, like, you could just go for a nice, like, a fake out Swords Dance or something. Like, Vivian can't really do anything to the Gambit, right? So it's like, you might have to trade some damage on Rillaboom. I'm pretty sure that Hurricane KO.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So like
probably gets fairly close, but
you either trade the damage or you just switch it out there.
I like this. It's gonna get Porygon 2 in here. We'll see what the
that's probably gonna be an attack boost because it's in front of the Rillaboom.
Yeah. No, it's a special attack.
Okay, so I thought it was based on whatever's in front of, but I guess it just decided to take the King Gambit stats over the Rillaboom stats. And I think Assault Vest doesn't count to the stat number, maybe?
Yeah, and Rillaboom is a bit better on the physical side. But King Gambit does get the Sword Stance off here.
Yeah, so...
Now, I do want to mention Porygon 2 is Terra Fighting with that Terra Blast.
Yeah.
So it will be able to smack the King Gambit pretty hard if it gets the inclination.
Yeah, and we know this Porygon 2 just eats hits for days.
Yeah, absolutely.
It survived a +5
It took a +5 Sucker Punch. It's absolutely going to eat anything that either of these two throw out.
Yeah.
And you also have the Ice Beam as well, if you want to layer that onto the Rillaboom.
Yeah.
So this Porygon 2 is very threatening to both these Pokemon on the field right now. But the thing is, Sunk Cost Fallacy, you can't really take out the King Gambit. We're going to see the Terra now. It'll be the Porygon 2.
Yeah, so Porygon 2 is slower. I mean, I'm guessing... No, it's not slower than King Gambit, but I'm assuming King Gambit might not have gone for Terra. But it's like...
Oh, we'll get the Terra here. That's got to be the King Gambit.
Yeah, okay, it is the King Gambit. So it's reducing the damage.
Yeah, it makes you only 2 times super effective against. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I still think the Terra Blast KOs.
I still also think the Terra Blast KOs.
Because it's a +1 Terra
But it might
fighting.
also be the attempt to get, like... Well, it's not a...
Oh, wait? Okay.
It's not a Sucker Punch coming out here. So it might go down to Terra Blast here. We'll see.
Yeah, because it's +1 Terra Fighting, Terra Blast on... Not the greatest special defense. Barely
does take the hit.
Whatever he trained that King Gambit in, it definitely ate its. But Porygon 2 goes. Now it's in Grassy Glide range, which is very important.
It is, but at the same time, this Garchomp has to be smiley, happy day. Because, do you think Earthquake takes out? One, do you think Earthquake takes out King Gambit? Two, do you think it takes out Rillaboom?
It doesn't. I don't think it ever takes out Rillaboom in grassy terrain.
I don't think it does either.
But maybe King Gambit. It's low enough.
And I mean, if you don't think that it takes out Rillaboom, you might as well just like Dragon Claw into the King Gambit slot.
Yeah, or Stomping, whatever you play.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But Dragon Claw is the safest one, depending on like what's with.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But. And then in the other slot, I mean, I guess you figure out at this point, okay, how do I do I want to preserve this Porygon 2, and how much do I want to preserve this Porygon 2? The Rillaboom's actually going to be the one that switches out here.
Yeah, and actually, I was going to say, like, once this King Gambit's gone, like, Incineroar just kind of runs free once this King Gambit's gone. So I think you do just go for the Earthquake here. I don't know what she locked into, but...
yeah, and if it was the Earthquake, this would be the breed of the century.
Yeah.
King Gambit protects anyway, so it'll get the extra turn. And it was the Dragon Claw into that slot.
Yeah. And that's super understandable, right?
Yeah. But now, the thing here, as I try to look at the speed tiers a little bit, but now I'm not blaming you, I'm just explaining what I'm doing. I guess the question here is, can the Vivillon do something before the Sneasler does something? This Sneasler has Fake Out, so...
Yeah.
It's going to be able to stop something. Although, at the same time, I think Ashley can double into the King Gambit pretty comfortably here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, at some point, it's just Operation take out this King Gambit as fast as possible. The Vivillon's going to be the one that eats the Fake Out. It's going to be boosted by the... It gets the crit and it gets the Poison Touch. It is Poison Touch and not the Unburden, as we saw.
Stomping Tantrum goes down. No Sucker Punch coming out, despite it being +2. That might have actually taken out the Garchomp.
Yeah, although it might have been predicting something.
Yeah. You never really know, right? Because who knows? Maybe the Garchomp protects or switches out. Sucker Punch is useless, right? So, coming out with a prediction. Now this, honestly, I think this Vivillon getting poisoned is better than anything else. Like, if it got slept or paralyzed, it might have been.
It's not super meaningful. Like Vivillon is already on a timer.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's poisoned, like it takes another hit. I guess the question ends up being, what more can this Garchomp get done? Because at this point, you're playing towards the get the Intimidates down. Yeah, get Incineroar in here. Get some stuff going on. Break that Sneasler Sash. Like. Keep things moving, reduce the damage as much as possible, maybe Parting Shot out once or twice. Although we don't know the last Pokemon in the back here for Benji.
Yeah, but
so there are still pivot ability.
We do know it's unless it's Dozo, which I don't think they brought. It resists Incineroar resists it, most likely.
Yeah.
Electabuzz doesn't just doesn't. Right?
Yeah, Electabuzz doesn't really do damage.
Oh, no, I think it is a Volt, right? Didn't they lead? Didn't Benji lead Volt?
No. We don't know what the last Pokemon is. The grass disappears, so if that Garchomp gets back in, you also get the Earthquake bump. And that's the thing as well with how this matchup has turned out, is that Ashley doesn't need the Tailwind, or didn't need the Tailwind against King Gambit, and now has a reason to bring it up. Rillaboom's going to switch out, going to get the Fake Out Crusher, so we will see the fourth Pokemon now.
It is Electabuzz. Okay, so
Electabuzz does have Thunderbolt, which is better damage than usual, but it also means it can't touch Garchomp.
Yeah, and Garchomp kind of just like even with the Rillaboom, like Garchomp still kind of runs through the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Even with the Rillaboom stuff there.
And I do think, I will say, I think that turn is a tiny bit of a misplay from Benji, because I think if you, at the very least, I think if you thought that a Fake Out was coming out of Sneasler, you had to protect, because now your Sash is broken, and Hurricane knocks you out. And I think if the Sneasler goes down, this game is just over.
Oh, yeah. These are like the only chance here, but
and not only that, Incineroar can keep putting out value here. Incineroar's probably not going to get knocked out this turn. It has the opportunity to knock off Electabuzz.
Is this like a -2 Sneasler or something right now?
It's at -1.
Oh, it's at -1.
So it's
I
not
thought he partying Ashley partying shot into.
I mean, it would be if that happened after this, but I mean, you can also knock off the Electabuzz, which is really nice. And Electabuzz does go for the Follow Me, so it will draw away some attacks, including this Hurricane, which doesn't do too much damage. Oh, even through a crit, jeez.
Yeah, Electabuzz has a really good special defense stat, like, surprisingly. So does Magmar.
Those Pokemon have ridiculous stats. Like, just take a look at them sometime, and there's the parting shot out on the Electabuzz. I would have liked the knockoff. That would have been a really, really scary play.
Yeah, that would have been almost pretty much game.
Yeah.
Pretty much game.
Even still, Garchomp's in a really good spot to win this game.
So Tailwind's up. So, yeah.
I mean, Garchomp just gets an Earthquake, yeah.
Yeah, Garchomp just goes wild here. Probably switching the Rillaboom into one of the slots. That's something Ashley might.
Although, if it's into the Electabuzz slot, I still think Sneasler drops.
Yeah.
And I think you also want to switch out Sneasler if possible right now.
And now, Sneasler's... Now it's -2.
Now it's -2.
Yeah. So Sneasler's not going to do much to either of the thing with the close combat onto Incineroar. And Incineroar just kind of likes to click its ground moves without any rhyme or reason, because one of these is going down right to the Stomping Tantrum. So Benji would have had to call it,
and that's the thing as well. Rillaboom's already on low HP. It's not really able to take too much more. Electabuzz does go for the Protect. Benji is stalling out turns here. I don't know if it will actually amount to anything. Because you have to keep in mind as well that if Ashley knocks out Rillaboom and Sneasler while keeping Garchomp alive, that's it. That's the end of the game. Because the only move Electabuzz has is Thunderbolt, the only attacking move. So Benji now needs to play around taking out this Garchomp by any means necessary.
And it's going to be hard because Rillaboom's so low.
Yeah. And I mean, at the same time, you can, follow me. I think ideally you knock out this... Ideally, you knock out Electabuzz. You knock out the Garchomp however possible. I guess that's not happening anymore, so I won't try to explain my hypothetical world. Because I think you try to Wood Hammer the Garchomp, try to do as much damage there as possible. Although I guess you already have the lowered what's it called?
Special of the Electabuzz?
Rillaboom. Just slower. Rillaboom just slower. So you needed to Fake Out or Grassy Glide, do something into the Garchomp to do anything at all. The problem is, you just didn't have it, and now you can Earthquake if you want, if you're Ashley, and I think it probably still takes out the Sneasler, but...
Or you probably, switch out, or one more Intimidate, right? Porygon probably goes down here. Maybe not, actually. Porygon probably stays alive because how bulky it is in this grassy terrain.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if it's what is going to be targeted.
Oh, Dire Claw. That's the hope.
Dire Claw is the only out here, and it does get the para.
Maybe.
We'll see what this does, because Electabuzz can't really do anything about this now.
We'll get Thunderbolted
Yeah.
the Porygon. Doesn't do
Wow, that
much.
did nothing at all.
Oh, Stomping Tantrum gets to come out. That is game.
That is indeed game.
Yeah. Electabuzz can't do anything to this Garchomp. It's guaranteed. Just click the Stomping Tantrum as many times as you want. Because if you get paralyzed, the power points still go down, and and Electabuzz can't do anything to you. Just keep clicking Stomping Tantrum, and that's game. Probably can't even knock out this Porygon in the next one, but you know,
you're doing as much damage with Thunderbolt as Porygon is healing back in the grassy terrain. In any case, Ashley Stelzer with a 3-0 start to the day through round 3, most likely going to see her floating into top cut, indeed.
With the amount of resistance. We'll see.
And Benji's still at 2-1, still with a solid chance to pull this one back to a 4-1 or a 3-2. So, regardless, an interesting matchup.
Sure.
It was interesting because you could see in Game 2, Ashley very much realized, like, oh, I don't actually need Tailwind in this matchup, at least early on with the Vivillon.
Yeah, you just went for Hurricane.
Went for Hurricane, just started hitting. Because it's like, okay, I can't use Sleep Powder because everything here has Goggles or is Grass type or whatever. I don't need Tailwind because these things are slow and Garchomp is really fast.
Yeah.
And was just able to kind of win that early game just enough to have the control for the back of the game.
So yeah, no, I agree. Like, Ashley played through win condition very well. I would say I do think Benji did have like an unfortunate matchup, right? He really needed to preserve the Rillaboom and the Stelzer, the ground type damage.
Yeah.
Right, but other than that, like those are like I would say those were his only outs per se because he just took a little too much on the King Gambit. Yeah. Like whatever the Porygon did and whatnot, right?
The Porygon did almost the entire HP bar with the Terra Fighting into the Terra Dark King Gambit.
And honestly, like, Ashley's team is just kind of bulky. Really bulky.
It is a very bulky team, and it's very hard to play against, even with, like, super boosted King Gambit. But we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, round number 4, getting into crunch time here. Don't go anywhere.
Top cut soon.